Retired Navy. Captain Robert Sullivan drank his coffee at the marina every morning. For someone who'd commanded submarines for 35 years, watching boats was like meditation. But that Thursday morning, when he looked at the blue boat with Dolphin Tours written on it, something bothered him. The boat had left empty in the morning, returned full of tourists in the evening. Normal. But as the tourists disembarked, Sullivan noticed a detail. None of their faces were sunburned. 8-hour tour, July sun, and not even a red nose. Sullivan's 35 years of experience told him one thing. These people had spent time inside the boat, not on deck. Why? Welcome to Retired People Stories. Before we share this incredible story of detection and smuggling prevention, let us know in the comments where you're watching from today. And if you believe retired heroes are invisible guardians of our seas, hit that subscribe button and support our channel. Because some sailors retire, but naval knowledge is never forgotten. Thursday, July 20th, 6:30 a.m. San Diego Marina. The California sun was just rising, seagulls crying, boats gently rocking. Captain Robert Sullivan, 68 years old, retired Navy submarine commander. He'd served 35 years on USS Virginia, USS Texas, USS San Francisco. Cold War, Gulf War, countless classified operations, tracked Russian submarines in the Pacific depths, conducted silent patrols in the South China Sea. He'd retired in 2018, settled in San Diego, had a small sailboat at the marina. Barbara Ann, named after his late wife. Same routine every morning. Up at 6 at the marina by 6:30. Coffee, newspaper, boat maintenance, and observation, always observation. 35 years in a submarine teaches you something. Seeing details. Underwater, sound, vibration, the smallest anomaly means life or death, and Sullivan hadn't lost this habit. He'd memorized the marina, which boat leaves when, who goes fishing, who runs tours, whose engine is broken. Dolphin Tours was one of the marina's popular boats. Captain Rodriguez, 45 years old, Mexican-American, been running tours for 5 years. Whale watching, dolphin tours, sunset cruises, normal, routine until that Thursday, 6:45. Dolphin Tours was preparing. Sullivan watched while sipping his coffee. Rodriguez was cleaning the deck, his assistant Jake checking the lines. 7:30. First tourists arrived, 15 to 20 people. Cameras, hats, sunscreen, normal tourist profile, 8 o'clock. Boat departed. Sullivan checked his watch. As always, he continued working on his own boat, engine maintenance, sail check. But a corner of his mind was always observing. 4:30 p.m. Dolphin Tours returned. Sullivan happened to be, actually intentionally, cleaning fish on the dock. Tourists started disembarking, and that's when he noticed. None of them were sunburned. 8 hours at sea. July, San Diego, sun overhead, and no redness. Sullivan paused. Knife stopped in his hand. He examined the tourists more carefully. Clothes dry, hair neat, makeup intact. People who've been at sea for 8 hours don't look like this. Maybe they stayed in covered area, he thought. But Dolphin Tours' covered area wasn't big enough to hold 20 people for 8 hours. Strange. Sullivan had drinks at the marina bar that evening, chatted with Tony the bartender. "Tony, how's Dolphin Tours doing?" "Good, I guess, Bob. They go out full every day. Tourists happy?" "I suppose. They don't talk much, though. They come, board, return, leave." "They see whales?" Tony shrugged. "Don't know. Nobody shows photos." Even stranger. Next day, Friday. Sullivan was at the marina early, 5:30, still dark. Dolphin Tours lights were on, movement inside. Sullivan grabbed binoculars, small military model, for bird watching. Rodriguez and Jake were carrying something. Boxes, looked heavy, both carrying. They took them below deck. Sullivan zoomed on the boxes. No writing, but shape was familiar. Like military ammo boxes. But why? 7:30. Tourists arrived. Again, 15 to 20 people. But Sullivan noticed something. Some tourists from yesterday were there again. Same people, same tour, 2 days in a row. Who goes on the same whale tour 2 consecutive days? Sullivan pulled out his phone, took photos, tourist faces, license plates, everything. 4:30 p.m. Boat returned. Tourists disembarked. Again, no sunburn. Again, dry clothes. And Sullivan noticed something else. Some tourists were different. 5 people who'd boarded in the morning weren't there. 5 new people disembarked in their place. People swap in the middle of the ocean. Sullivan's retired naval mind worked quickly. Possibilities. Transferred to another boat. But why? Dropped off somewhere. But where? And why? Still on the boat. But why aren't they disembarking? That evening, Sullivan called an old friend, Mike Patterson from Coast Guard. Mike, Sullivan, I'm good, you. Listen, want to ask something. There's a boat at the marina called Dolphin Tours. Clean? Let me check. Yes, looks clean. License complete, taxes paid. Why? Something strange. Not sure, but Bob, you're retired. Don't get paranoid. I know, but I commanded subs for 35 years, Mike. Something's wrong. Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Saturday. Sullivan was at the marina at 4 a.m. secretly, in the dark. 50 meters from Dolphin Tours, hidden in another boat's shadow. 4:30. A minivan arrived, headlights off, parked quietly. 5 people got out, all in black, boarded Dolphin Tours. Rodriguez met them. No handshakes, no talking. Straight to below deck, 4:45. Minivan left, 5 o'clock. 5 people appeared on deck, but not wearing black anymore. Tourist clothes, Hawaiian shirts, shorts, hats, disguise change. Sullivan pulled out phone. Video recording. Not clear in the dark, but evidence. 7:30. Normal tourists arrived. 5 fake tourists mixed with them. 8 o'clock. Boat departed. Sullivan decided he'd follow. Prepared his own boat. Barbara Ann was a sailboat, slow but quiet. Departed 30 minutes later. Could see Dolphin Tours on GPS. AIS, Automatic Identification System. All boats broadcast signal. 12 miles out, Dolphin Tours stopped. Why? No whales, no dolphins, empty ocean. Sullivan watched through binoculars from 2 miles away, and he saw. Another boat approached. Fast, black, unmarked, not Coast Guard, not commercial, smuggler. 2 boats came alongside. Transfer began. People. From Dolphin Tours to Black Boat. 5 people. The fake tourists from morning, then boxes. The heavy boxes from below deck, 10 to 15 of them. Sullivan pulled out phone. Zoom. Record. Transfer took 20 minutes. Then, Black Boat headed south, toward Mexico. Other people came to Dolphin Tours. 5 new tourists, human smuggling, and probably weapons or drugs. Sullivan called Coast Guard. Director, emergency line. Coast Guard, what's your position in emergency? Captain Robert Sullivan, retired Navy. Coordinates 32-35 north, 117-45 west. Human smuggling and probable weapons transfer. 2 boats, 1 heading south. Captain Sullivan, are you sure? Have video recording. Dolphin Tours tour boat and unidentified black boat. Sending team. You maintain distance. 20 minutes later, Coast Guard helicopter appeared. Fast response boats also en route. Black boat tried to flee, but helicopter was overhead. Warning shots. Stopped. Dolphin Tours tried to return, but too late. Coast Guard boats surrounded. Operation took 2 hours. Sullivan watched from distance. That evening, Mike Patterson called. Bob, you were right. Big operation. 15 illegals, 300 kilos cocaine, 50 automatic weapons. Rodriguez. Arrested. Jake, too. Been doing it for 3 years. Cartel business. The tourists. Cover. They take real tourists, swap them at sea with fake tourists. Fake tourists are actually smuggled people or couriers. How didn't they get caught? Like you said, Bob, who suspects a tourist boat? Perfect disguise. Sullivan sighed. 35 years in submarines teaches you to be paranoid, Mike. Not paranoia, Bob. Experience. You saved the marina. Who knows how many illegals passed, how many weapons. Next day it was local news. Retired Navy captain exposes major smuggling operation. Sullivan didn't give interviews. As usual, he became a hero at the marina, but Sullivan just shrugged. I was just drinking my coffee. Saw tourists without sunburn. Rest is experience. FBI got involved. Operation was bigger than thought. 5 marinas, 12 boats, international network. Agent Thompson visited Sullivan. "Captain Sullivan, how did you know?" "Really from the Sunburn?" Sullivan laughed. "Agent Thompson, I lived in submarines for 35 years. People don't get sunburned underwater, but anyone in California sun for 8 hours burns. Basic physics." "Just from that?" "And movement. Someone who's been at sea 8 hours walks differently. Balance center shifts. These tourists walked like they just came from land. Incredible attention. Not attention, habit. In a submarine, every anomaly means death. You learn to see." Dolphin Tours changed hands. New owner runs real tours. Rodriguez got 25 years prison. Jake got 15. Cartel put $2 million bounty on Sullivan's head. FBI offered protection. Sullivan refused. "I evaded Russian subs for 35 years. Cartel going to scare me." And he continued his life. Every morning at 6:30 at the marina, coffee, newspaper, observation, a new tour boat arrived. Paradise Cruises. Sullivan watched. Seemed normal for 2 weeks. Then he noticed boat's waterline normal when leaving morning, 3 inches lower when returning, extra weight, invisible weight. Sullivan grabbed phone. "Mike? Sullivan here. Think we have another one." Because Robert Sullivan was retired, 68 years old, widower, old, but his sailor eyes were still sharp, his experience still alive, and he was guardian of the marina, the sea, the country. Invisible, unnoticed, but always observing. Because some soldiers retire, but duty, seamanship, patriotism, they never retire. Never. 6 months later, Sullivan exposed another operation. Human trafficking this time. Smuggling technicians from China. 1 year later, another one. Weapons smuggling to Middle East. Sullivan was now legend. DEA, FBI, Coast Guard, all knew him. They called him the Eagle of the Marina. But for Sullivan, it was just routine. Coffee, newspaper, observation, every day, every hour, because the sea never sleeps. And real sailors don't sleep either, even when retired. The truth is, in every harbor, every marina, every port across America, there are Robert Sullivans. Men and women who spent decades reading the sea's secrets. They don't wear uniforms anymore. They don't command ships. They look like any other retiree maintaining their boat. But their training remains. Their instincts stay sharp. Their eyes still catch what shouldn't be there. Sullivan proved something that July morning at San Diego Marina. He proved that retirement is just a word, that vigilance is eternal. That once you've been trained to spot submarines in the Pacific depths, spotting smugglers in a marina is child's play. At 68, with arthritis in his hands and a bad knee from a submarine accident, he was more valuable to Homeland Security than any surveillance system. Because he had something technology can't replicate, 35 years of knowing exactly what normal looks like at sea. Today, Sullivan still sits at the marina, still drinks his coffee, still watches, and somewhere, a boat captain thinks twice before using his vessel for smuggling, because the old man drinking coffee might be watching. And he might be a submarine commander who never really retired, just changed his watch from beneath the waves to above them, forever vigilant, forever ready, forever a guardian of the sea.